I mean, it's the same us, but it's a new us being the same old us.
Well, we ain't trying to be the same old us. We trying to be a better version
In
of the
fact,
old us.
speaking of the new us or the same old us, just a newer version, did you have any New Year's resolutions this year?
Well, the same one I've had, but everybody has that same New Year's resolution. Man, I'm gonna drop some weight, and I actually am. I done got back in the gym. I'm working out. I'm sore.
Okay.
I'm painfully sore.
You know what? When you say that, I be thinking about like drug dealers. Do drug dealers like when they say I'm finna drop off weight as a New Year's resolution? Like, are they like they finna drop off some weight, or they dropping weight?
First of all, how many fat drug dealers you hear?
That is true.
You don't ever hear about no fat drug dealers. There's
Like,
always Biggie was the only fat drug dealer I ever heard of.
that's true. Not when didn't Big Pun sell something? I don't know.
Well,
Let me not say that because I don't know. But he was skinny back when.
so he was skinny pun.
Well, he was Pun.
Mm.
But no, I guess he would still be Big Pun because you got Big Sean, and Big Sean not big. He's just Big Sean.
Well, Big Sean's like what, $105?
Yeah, he light.
He's a real lightweight.
You know what I'm saying?
But
But at the same time.
But
yeah,
nah, that was my
drug
main
dealers
New
drop
Year's
weight.
resolution was to lose some weight, and on top of losing some weight, man, just try to have a better mindset and outcome about different things because I don't want to fall into them same traps I did last year. Last year, I think I've always grown every year, but it's like at some point in time, you gotta try to, yeah, I'm not gonna do that no more.
Understood.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
I don't know. When it come to me, because typically I have a New Year's resolution, and I really think about it and be gun ho about it. But this year I was just like, I don't even want to talk about it. I'ma just overall be better. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Don't talk about it, be about
Just
it.
exactly, because a few years now I've been like, I'm gonna get back in shape, but now I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna just go get in shape. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna eat better. I'm not gonna talk about eating better. I'm just gonna start eating better. You know what I'm saying? And like that's I guess my New Year's resolution would be a man of action this year. Just
I
put
agree.
in work. Just get work done.
That's always a good thing, be about it. Because we all talk about it. Man, there's a lot of people that be at the gym though. Like, but I know they're gonna fall off about the end of February.
Well,
That's usually when people fall off.
with all them people being in the gym, you gotta take into account COVID is still out here, bruh.
But they have worked on a couple of things. Man, they got them sanitizer things everywhere. Every time I go to a machine, I'm going to wipe that on off.
Well,
all that.
I'm glad they're doing it at the gym because I know at the grocery stores, bruh, it's people ain't wearing masks no more. I ain't gonna need a lie. I'm guilty of it too. Holidays came around, I was kicking it with all my people, but most of my people vaccinated. Not saying that you have to be or you don't have to be, but I'm saying most of my people are.
But the whole thing, let's be real, with COVID now, man, if you had people that had masks on the entire time got COVID.
That's true.
So it's like, man, if it's your time to get it, you gonna get it.
I just think at this point people are really like, bruh, if COVID get me, because you can only be scared of the bully for so long.
Yeah.
Eventually you gotta just either you gonna punch me in the mouth or you gonna leave me alone because I ain't running. I think we at that point with COVID now. Like,
But
you can
that's
keep
what it
telling
is. It's
about
like, hey, man, I'm gonna fight this, or it's gonna beat me. But I'm not about to worry about it.
Yeah, I can't not live life no more. I got
Because let's be real, there's only so long you gonna stay in the house, gonna complain, or the flip side. Oh, it only exists. And like, oh no, COVID don't happen. These things is like, we really saying this still anti-vaxxer? Oh, COVID never existed. It's
Alright, but hear me out though. Like, I'm vaccinated, so my statements here is for the people who are not, and it's more so like, were they not right though? Because now, by this point, people getting vaccinated, it would be like, what's the point if you already caught it? Because majority of people, I'm sure, at this point have caught COVID.
Now I know some people that caught COVID, but then still, and then the government is still forcing people to.
Yeah, yeah. Get
You gotta
vaccinated.
have. You
Which
gotta
I'm,
get the vaccination.
yeah, and then you got the little cards you got to
Mm-hmm.
show when you go in place. I'm like, but look, man,
But
the
hell,
flu still got more bodies, bro. Let's just be clear. The
yeah,
flu
and that's
still
true.
killed more folks.
But hell, I've had to tell people, hell, I went to go get tested a couple of weeks ago because allergy pollen kicked up on me. Man, I was over there struggling, dying. And then I was like, you know what? Let me go make sure I ain't got COVID.
Yeah, you got to.
And so I went, got checked. They were like, you ain't got COVID. You got a bad sinus infection.
Yeah. What I'm happy about is, not happy about, because technically we shouldn't be going through it, but at the same time, if you got insurance or if you don't have insurance, they still paying for you to get tested out here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, cool. You know, as long as, because I know I've been tested so many times at this point, man. I'm like, nah, bro. You know, people don't get this many tests for any other disease that I know of.
But one thing I always wonder, why the hell do they still have the slow acting tests? Man, every test should be rapid then.
Yeah, because you need to know right
I
then.
want to know right now.
Right, because if I ain't got the test results back, I'm going to be like, I still need to go to the store and get something. So,
But-
you know. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I got to go
but
to
you
the
know,
store.
Man, you know what else they need to... Well, we don't worry about this no more, but people out here, man, it would be great if they had that results back for, like, if you get STD and stuff, you get it back right then. Like,
Boy,
bruh, you know how
but-
many people be happy?
you know how many women and men would be messed up? Because I wouldn't, like, if I was in that game, I wouldn't even wait. I'd be like, oh, yeah, before we lay down, go ahead and take that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just take that right there. You know what I'm saying? But you going to mess around and don't let it be a P test. Dudes be coming in there with their fake condoms and squirting on the stick. And be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's so, I'm peeing clean. You got to make them do it in your face.
Man, I'm just saying because like when you waiting for them results and everything, if you've never been tested, please go get tested.
Go get tested, man.
Be smart.
We at this point.
Mhm.
If you're going to do adult things, you should go ahead and get tested. Because getting tested and knowing your status is an adult thing.
Yeah,
Like, no.
but you know when you sitting there waiting, they make you wait about 4-5 days, sometimes the whole 7-day week, and you like thinking about, man, did I mess up?
And that's trauma. That's mental
It's
trauma.
like, man, could I, like, man, no, I ain't coughing. Then all of a sudden your mind start playing tricks on you.
You start
You
coughing.
cough.
That was me. That was me.
Yeah, I meant to cough,
Yeah.
but nah. All I just tell people, man, in this year we gotta do better with ourselves,
better.
with your health,
But-
with everything.
I feel like when it comes to the statement, I feel majority of us do right. It's a like the population of those who don't get tested, the population of those who not checking for the COVID, the STDs, what I feel like it's a lower percentage, but it's still a percentage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the majority of us doing right. It's just we are trying to convince that few to say, hey, we on the right side of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then you know some people give so many excuses. Then some people are more on the side of trying to force someone to do something. I'm like, hey, I ain't gonna force you if that's what you want to do,
Right.
but don't get mad when it happened to you.
Exactly, and that's the hard part. Letting people fail. It's like
Well, my big mama said, hard head make a soft bottom.
that's true too.
If that's what you want to do, I'm like, I respect you and everything you want to do. But
I'm saying, well, I need a couple flat booty chicks to get a hard head. Cause they booties be hard. I'd be like, you gotta jiggle a little bit more. Than
okay, so you gotta remember this one. How you know the flat booty girls and how you know that their booty hard?
Cause it's look hard.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to touch a rock to know a rock is hard. I
Nah,
seen a
but
rock.
you could tell a rock because you've touched the rock before.
I've touched the backside before. What you mean?
That's what I'm saying. The flat booty girl, how you know her booty is hard?
I didn't say a small booty girl. I said flat.
That's what I said. You
Small
said the
booty,
hard, flat
small
booty.
booty still got jiggle to
Hey,
it.
y'all could rewind the time. He said a flat booty girl, and booty be
Need to
hard.
get a hard head with a soft bottom. Look, the Brazilian lifts and all that, bro. I'm just saying, if you get the hard head, you ain't gotta go and do all that.
But
You know what I'm saying?
you gotta remember this. God didn't make everybody have a big booty. Just like
I don't know, because
God
God made doctors, and doctors do button jacks.
But
so,
you do realize doctors change everything. Look at Michael Jackson.
yeah.
So
He wanted that.
you sitting here telling me God wanted Michael Jackson to be clear?
No, God wanted Michael Jackson. Well, first of all, I can't speak for God.
Yeah.
My perception would be that if God gave man the ability to do something, if that man so chooses to do it based on the technology at hand in the moment, then technically.
So
Yeah.
so now that goes into. No, I ain't even gonna take it there. I was gonna take it there, but I'm not gonna take it there.
Don't take it there.
So, anyways, we're gonna hop into this shooting the breeze. That was basically a part of talking about COVID too. So, it's the world kickboxing champion. What was his name?
Frederick
Sintra
I think it's
died
Sound
of
like
COVID. And the reason I was thinking about this is because, so many people talk about they don't want to do this. They're anti-vaxxers and all that. I'm like, that's fine and cool. But you realize to be a champion, you have to be in peak position, peak shape,
so
and
is he
everything.
the current?
He's like the
kickboxing champ?
3-time kickboxing champion.
I'm saying, like, is he the current though? Because at one point, what's that dude? Well, he ain't the dude who got the fake martial arts.
Fake martial.
He in the movies.
Oh, you talking? Hold up. Are you talking about what's his name? Nah, that at first I was gonna say Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. That's what I'm talking about. The fake martial art.
Aikido isn't fake martial art. He just ain't good. It's not fake martial art. Like Aikido is more wrist locks and grabs and like throws, tosses, things like that. He ain't just gonna beat up a whole bunch of people with it, but it is an actual martial art. It's basically them locking you up in a certain way to either break you into submission or leave you open where they can attack.
So Steven Seagal with the fake martial art. He. I'm just saying, bro.
Anyways,
Either way, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm sure in his prime when he was, the Aikido, whatever champion. I don't think he ever became a champion, but whatever he was, in respect to his martial art form, he was in shape.
okay.
But now you see Steven Seagal, and it's like,
But he was never a champion. Like, okay, look at it like this. As a champion, like, if you talk about champion as a champion basketball player, football player, bodybuilder, whatever sport you really want to say, except golf.
what? Tiger Woods in shape? What you mean?
No, Tiger Woods ain't in shape.
What you mean?
Usain Bolt against Tiger Woods. Tiger ain't...
Well, Usain Bolt against most people.
Okay. Like,
I'm just saying,
if you put...
he ain't out of shape.
Okay.
He just not
okay,
Tony
when I'm talking
Jaa
about...
or Ja
No,
White.
when I'm talking about in shape, I'm talking about your body's in peak position, meaning you can do something truly with your body, not your swing.
That is with your body.
Oh, you killing me here.
I mean, I'm not killing you.
Sir. Tiger Woods ain't dropping nobody.
Tiger Woods might drop somebody, bro.
Tiger Woods ain't dropping nobody.
If
Jaleel White will drop Tiger Woods.
But you're Lil White.
I know he's like a fourth degree
like,
black belt.
Like, stop.
Hey,
That's
Urkel will drop you.
Urkel will drop you, but he'll drop most people.
Yeah.
That's not. I know you said Urkel, but if you put the real guy, like, no,
Yeah.
the real guy is a real guy, bro. He still do what he does. He's not a joke.
But
But I'm just saying, you put Tiger Woods up against Phil Mickelson. Who winning?
Hold up, who's Phil Nicholson?
Phil Mickelson is a golfer.
Bro, we ain't talking about golf. Golf ain't nobody in here been like, man, you see that golfer's muscles? You see what he's doing out there?
I think
All you talking about is his swing. Oh, he has a great
big
golf swing.
I'm just saying, when have you seen like a sumo wrestler size golfer, bro? Most of them in shape. I ain't never seen Steven Seagal get out there with a golf club. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Anyways, he's trying to discredit my argument.
I'm not.
But I'm sorry, sir. Sir, anybody that will tell you, just because that's like the dude that's twirling the baton. Oh, you saying he's the same as the dude playing football out there on the field?
No,
it's nowhere near the same.
It's not saying.
All
I'm
these
saying
other like
there's
LeBron
levels of
right
shape.
now. If you look at LeBron right now, he's in peak shape. You can't name too many champions that are not in peak shape. Like he'll go run somebody through the dirt right now.
Right.
Now, okay, if you talk about football, you could look at a lot of people playing football right now. Even Antonio Brown with his crazy self. He will run somebody through the shirt.
We have to go through that one, though, because I don't know if we can just call Antonio Brown crazy.
He's a little crazy. I'm sorry.
He's not crazy, bro.
He messing up on stuff.
No.
Like, at some points in time, he mess up. But, anyways, if you look at all these athletes and stuff like that, in order for you to be a champion, like you are in that shape. There's not a fat... You've never seen a fat person in the MMA. No, we ain't talking about. He was the only fat person. Everybody was like 200 pounds lighter than him. If you're talking about Butterbean was more muscle than fat. But Butterbean was muscle.
Fat, bro.
He was just round.
Yeah.
But he was muscle.
I mean, technically, if we going on it based on physical appearance, Tyson Fury, I would be like, he a little overweight, a little chubby. He got a lot of shake to him. But would I ever come through and say that he ain't?
Would you say it to his face?
If he asked me, I'd say it to his face. I mean, I don't think he would just punch me in the face. Why? Because he'd be like, "You telling the truth? I'm telling the truth." I got some shake to me too.
That's like back in the day when people used to come up to Mike and say certain things because of his voice or something like that. Oh, you discrediting me. Now I gotta show you why I'm who I am.
It's a respectful way to talk. Okay, I'll be like, Tyson Fury, like if we had this conversation, and I was like, but Tyson Fury over here, not just in the greatest shape, but at the same time, he still drop us. I don't think we gonna just get out here and win against him. Like, just honesty.
Man, if you say so, sir.
Oh, so you finna drop Tyson Fury?
I didn't say nothing like that.
What are you saying?
Because every dog has his day. Every dog.
Bruh, look. Every dog has his day in a dog kennel. He ain't finna walk out here to the cat park over here and have his and have his. He pretty much finna slaughter them. Okay, it's just life. It's a literal wolf over here, and you got a park full of Pomeranians. And you trying to say every dog has his day. Yeah, but all them Pomeranians finna have a terrible day.
But I ain't no Pomeranian.
Okay, Great Dane. What do you want to be? You still a dog to a wolf.
Okay. But I ain't, like, you can't sit here and say, I'm a Pomeranian.
Okay.
Bro, like, I'm at least a rock. I'm at least a Rottweiler.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
Say you can't be a Rottweiler, bro.
I actually have trained. It'd be different if I was just out here, the average dude, just... Oh, yeah, I played football in high school, and, nah, that's not the same.
That's where I'm at.
Bro, like, I've literally trained 4 years.
I respect your confidence.
And I'm not saying, I'm that dude but the average nigga ain't gonna drop me.
Look, what I'm saying is, you got people who played, college football, and they got out, and they went to their regular 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
Now you get out here and say, "Oh man, I could get as many rings as Tom Brady." No, you can't.
Exactly.
Because if you could, you would have been where he is. You not.
But
Not saying that you can't beat up.
But
Just saying
anyways,
Tyson Fury might be that dude.
But you said Tiger Woods.
I
That's
said
what
Tiger
you said,
Woods
sir.
because Tiger Woods is still in shape. I'm
Anyways,
not saying he's
so-
not Michael J. White, but he is Tiger Woods, and he is in shape. That's
So,
all I'm saying.
anyways, what I'm talking about, he's the 3-time kickboxing champion, and actually he was going for a number 4, but he ended up
That's a
dying
different conversation.
from COVID. Like COVID took him out. He was in shape. Like for you to be a champion for 3 years and be going to the next tournament to be this year's kickboxing champion, like bro, you in shape. You do this for a living.
Right. I didn't know he was still competing.
Yes, he was still competing, and he died from COVID. And I'm like, and that's what pops in my head sometimes, because everybody think they Superman. Like, oh, well, it ain't going to bother me. And I'm like, bro, why would you even take that chance?
But the thing is, coming from where they sitting, it's been a lot of people who didn't get the vaccinations, caught COVID, and went either asymptomatic or no issues at all. Like, very, low.
But more people that have not got the vaccination have died versus people that have got the vaccination.
Right.
So,
I'm not saying, but the thing is, when you're saying that, it's like you're asking people to put themselves through something, and they may not feel like, it's like, why even put because the likelihood of me dying from it is still less than me dying from it. Because majority of the people who catch it do survive.
But that's the thing is, what if you're that person that don't know? Like, some people are like, yes, I've had it before, so, yeah, and I've passed through it and things like that. But most of the people I know that have said they've had it were like, man, I had it. I don't want it again.
Right.
I'm going to do something to make sure
They don't get it.
they don't get it no more.
But the act of them getting it, I'm not saying it. You catching COVID and you taking a vaccine push you around equal because you just building up the antigen to fight it. So it's like if you caught the flu and you beat it, and then you got around me and I just caught the flu, then sure you might catch it, but your body's already prepped and ready to battle it again. So you wouldn't, theoretically, you shouldn't be sick nearly as long as I would be sick at that time. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, you catch it. Because I remember back in the beginning, they were saying, oh, you want to take the antibody test to see? Because if you already caught COVID, then you already got the antibodies. Ain't no need to take a shot. And they will give you a card to let you know, hey, you already had COVID, so you already got the antibodies in your system or your antigen in your system. So it's a two-way. It's a double-edged sword, bro.
Okay, I could see that being true. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that everybody should go out, but I'm like, everybody keep talking about the precautions and all that kind of stuff. Man, everybody took all them precautions. Still caught it. Oh, the mask that were inside, didn't want to be around people, caught it. I'm like, so.
Well, I mean,
it's like.
I'm going to say it like this. Pfizer got their new pill coming out. So now, you can pop a pill. Because I feel like people mostly feel like needles are really invasive. Like, I got to break through my, skin to get to
just scary.
Yeah. It's, bro.
So quit trying to use the big word invasive. That's scary.
Invasive. It's going through
if
your
the only
body.
reason you don't want to take the COVID vaccine is because it's a needle, it's because you're scared of the needle.
It's not about being scared of the needle. It's about injecting something in your body that you don't know
so
what is.
You would swallow it.
Yeah. A lot of people would prefer to swallow it. But
what's the difference?
No, the difference is by being in liquid, I'm certain you have to have additional, ingredients in it for it to, get into your system and work the way it needs to work. But if you put it in pill form, the thing that you got to do for the FDA, you got to put them ingredients on the back. Now, granted, they're going to be in scientific names, and you don't know what that means. but you can still
You know,
see
even in the
ingredient.
bottle, it says those same things on there. Is
You can't get. I mean, what I'm saying is, how much mercury is in a pill versus in a standard shot. Like I'm just saying, the things going into the shot versus going into the pill have to be different. Because if they weren't, then why did it take so long after you get the vaccine to produce the pill?
because one going straight into your bloodstream, and one of them you're swallowing, going through your digestive system,
So it
and
had to be
being
different.
absorbed into your body.
Right.
But one's going directly into your
Look, all I
bloodstream.
know is people would rather eat booty than take heroin. Hopefully, that's all I'm saying.
Bruh, bruh.
You
Either one
laughing,
of
but
the
that's the
no,
truth.
either one of them sounds bad
It's
to a lot
terrible
of
to me.
people.
It's terrible
But
to me
like
either way.
for somebody that ain't about that life, it's like, bruh, I ain't doing neither one.
But I'm just saying.
It's like, oh, you can either eat somebody's groceries or you can take
Yeah.
heroin. Both of them suck.
They both suck, but you'd be like, I'll take booty for 200.
I'm not taking neither one. Like, no.
Because you had to.
No. You can't. How do I have to? What, somebody got a gun to my head and
They
said,
got a gun to
pick
your head.
one.
They got a gun to your head, and they got some girl.
I'd rather take my chances
got-
on fighting this dude and being like, you know what? Maybe.
Look, they
Maybe
got
if all my
somebody- they got
training pays
somebody
off,
bent
I could get
over,
this
dog.
dude.
They got somebody bent over. And then they also got somebody heating up a spoon right there. Bo, and they like, you gotta go. And it's not just one person. It's the Taliban army, and they all got their rifles and AKs pointed directly at
See,
you.
now what you're trying to do is make this impossible odds.
You have to choose. That's what I'm
But I
saying.
don't have to. Until I have to, I'm not
Right
going
then,
to.
you have to.
It has to be a person that come in here, and he better be a good shot. Like,
Yes.
if the gun shake a little bit, I'm gonna fight you.
I'm just saying, look, I feel like if a person gave you that choice, they bout that life. Cause I'm like, out of everything you could have chose, you ain't trying to rob me, you ain't trying to do nothing, you just trying to see.
First of all, if somebody gonna do that to you, they were gonna kill you anyway.
No, they not. He just want to know.
So a random person off the street.
It's a random person from the Taliban. Cause the
Okay, so the Taliban has this whole cult about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We gonna find somebody.
You know
First
what? It
person
ain't
we
even
find.
in. It's Trick Daddy from the Eater Booty Gang. And he's sitting up there like, I need to know what you gonna do.
And I'm gonna tell Trick. I ain't no Trick. Silly
I
rabbit
ain't
tricks are
doing
for
that.
kids.
I ain't doing it. All right. All right. So now, would you, being that, we married people, if you had to, would you get on a dating site? Like, would you, like Tinder, Plenty of Fish, all that? If you were still single, would you get on it?
Like when I was real young, I was like, yeah, you can meet girls and all that stuff. But then as I got a little older and got a little game about myself, I was like, I was on POF when I was like, 20, 21, something like that, because people was like, man, they go live on POF. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm for a go live. So if you don't know what go live is, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You should know. But
or you might be too young.
yeah.
Either way.
But anyways, you could use context clues.
Yeah.
But as I got older, when I started knowing my value, my worth, I was like, would I rather be on the internet and see you, or would I rather see you in person? Because my thing is, I've been able to get wherever I want out of people just by talking to them.
Right.
Me typing stuff, like, people pretend to be so much that they are men and women. I'm like, the whole dating site thing, and which is actually true, is 51% of relationships now come from dating sites.
When I was younger, I really didn't get into it because, like I said, I know my strengths. I'm an interesting person. Like usually people like me because they see what I'm doing, or they you have to see me and interact. So that's my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So, but that was then. Now, would I get on if I was still single today? I'm sure I would. Why? Because I go to work, I go home. I got so much stuff that I'm doing. I can't necessarily say that I'm gonna be in a space. And then we also in the COVID world. So a lot of people at this point in life, hopefully this time next year we got a totally different song and dance. But
I mean,
they
but
staying at home.
one of the things that I'll think about and look at is because I know I've asked a lot of ladies this question, and most of the ladies will say, like, dudes hit them up all the time on social media. What's to make you different from them other dudes on social media? Because, oh yeah, everybody try to think they could spit the best game. Man, bro, this social media. She can't hear a word you saying.
Bro, when we was at social gatherings and at parties, like the girl you talked to just got hit on before you talked to her.
But the way I hollered at her, I won.
Yeah, I'm not saying that
because she could hear me,
online.
she could see me,
she could hear you, she could see you. But I'm saying, online, that false perception is reality. Like,
but
I'm taking the best photos. You only seeing the exciting part of my life. Ain't no downside. In person, who's to say I just probably got off work and I'm still in my work clothes? That don't mean I don't want to holler at you though.
I mean, I shot at females when I was looking kind of busted and still won. I mean, it is what it is.
I don't want to say we've all done that, but I for one have.
Yeah, I'm like, man, hey, I'm not gonna miss my opportunity. Now, if I see you more than once, kind of stuff, but if you just passing by and I may not get to see you, hey, I'm gonna just shoot at you from an honest perspective. I don't normally look like this, but I got off of work and I didn't want to miss this opportunity of something that could possibly be. So I'm gonna shoot at you and see what's up. Versus me over here, like, I'm not really looking my best at this moment. Like, but that's like, people catfish people all the time on social media.
Yeah.
Like, you think you got the girl with that looked like this. This was a picture from her 10 years ago.
But also, the club lighting it was the original catfish, bro. Because it was always dim, and you might have been talking to the chick with the 12 o'clock shadow, but ain't no shadows in the dark.
But you at least knew a general idea of what it was. Like, you're not going to say, oh, it was night and day from there to the club.
It could be. I mean, look, because there's a difference between morning fresh face, this is how I look, versus made up, this is how I look, which I don't particularly have an issue with either one. I'm just stating facts. There's two different things. There's natural beauty and there's artificial beauty, and then there's club beauty, which surpasses most of those, because there's a level of trickery that you can put on in low lighting.
Yeah.
So,
but that low lighting trickery is the same way they do in regular lighting trickery. It's just they put a lot of foundation and makeup on and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, you ever go on social media, see them pictures of what she looked like before, and then like all of a sudden it flipped real quick, and you're like, hold up, they're not the same people.
You know what? They got that new 10-year challenge online.
Yeah.
Like, so for a 10-year challenge person, do they put like a picture of them like 10 years ago next to a picture of them like 15 years ago? Like, how do you do it?
Man, some people lie, because I've seen it. There's a couple people on there. They picture it was taken in the same year, because I know who it was when they did it. Ain't gonna call you out, but I know. This is the same picture from the same year. And then you just took one like in the beginning of the year, then one later in the year. And then it's like almost looked the same, but it's like,
the reason I can't do a 10-year challenge is because I wasn't really taking photos like that back then.
Hey, there's a couple of photos of you back in the day. Ronnie had posted one a little while back.
What?
Yeah, and it was back you at Kerr. Like I said, with them suspenders on
like,
and the
how
shirt
long
off.
is that gonna be? Because Kerr Hall,
almost 10 years.
It's almost 10 years.
We graduated in 2012. It's 21. We're
Oh,
22
I could
now.
use that. I could
yes,
use that.
that's
Yeah.
a 10-year
I'm
challenge.
gonna have to hit the gym first. I'm gonna have to do my 10-year challenge at 10 years, 6 months, 10 years. You know, because I gotta. You know, I can't let my old me outshine me. I gotta have my. I gotta have my Drake.
You went from a 6-pack to a 1-pack.
Yeah. I did. And see, I can't live like that.
Hey, be like that. But as we get older,
I think I got like 4. It's a heavy 4 at the bottom. Okay, 3.
4 and a possible.
Yeah, 4 and a 2 and a. No, I say it's 2 and a possible now. 2 and a possible.
I'm trying to get it.
I got 2 at the top, and that bottom one is just heavy. I lost a lot more weight getting off night shift though. I will say that.
Yeah, that's always good, you know. Yeah. On the night shift.
Hey, I'm just stating facts. Look, you know, you look a little bit better. So, in other news, Steve Harvey recently made a post saying that he's retiring from stand-up.
He should have been retired.
What you mean?
Steve Harvey wasn't as funny as people tried to make him sometimes.
That's perception.
He had the one hit, like, I could hit you with that good one right there. And then the other ones,
Harvey,
like, I was sick of him doing the whole church thing. Like, Steve Harvey's comedy was for elderly people.
Yeah.
And,
know
like,
your audience.
No, he would try to give that to everybody. Like, his comedy went toward more elderly people and, like, people with, like, that were lacking something. Like, oh man, I'm going to give you a little game, but I'm going to try to make my game funny when I give it to you.
Yeah. I'm not.
Tell me a joke from Steve Harvey that you would like.
I can't tell you a joke from Steve Harvey outside of the one where he was talking about when that dude lost that title fight and the eye was talking. And he was like, man, he hit me in the eye. It's comedic gold. It's still funny today. And I don't really even know the boxer he was talking about anymore. Like, was it Buster? I think it was Buster Douglas. One of them. But, like I'm saying, creativity. He was a creative comedian. My thing is, he ain't quitting because he can't do it. Because the thing about it is, old people or people who are up in age will still go to a show. So he can still make money doing stand-up. He made it clear to state in the statement that, hey, it's a difference. It's subscription-based comedians, and then there's sponsor-based comedians. He considers himself a sponsor-based comedian.
Okay. He's
saying, like, I can't get on stage and do the comedy that I would typically do because, hey, like, a sponsor could get pulled. I could lose because he got his judge show. He had the Family Feud. He got so many things going on television and radio. Like, he got different methods of making money, different avenues of making money. And him getting on stage and giving people, you know, the comedy they're used to in this age where you got the internet, ain't nothing private no more.
Okay.
He could lose so much more money doing that. But if you take into account, like a Dave Chappelle, it's a lot of people who don't find Dave Chappelle funny. I find the man hilarious.
First of all, most of the people that don't find him funny is because they are in their feelings.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, well, it's because he made fun of this type of person, not because what he said, it just wasn't funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, that's my thing.
But also, he's able to stay in that space, even with the people hating on him, is because his viewership is subscription. People tune in. His fans are gonna rock with him to the end. They gonna keep coming back.
But that was just like Kevin Hart. When Kevin Hart did all his stand-ups, which you can say what you want about him. He did his stand-ups. Then he did his and made millions off of those stand-ups. Then, on top of that, he went to the movie side and made millions off the movie side.
Once he figured out, let's make sure you state, once he figured out his pocket. Because in the beginning, his acting was a little choppy. But once he got in his lane, Like, and now he's even increased his range to where he doing drama now. Kevin Hart actually can act, bro. At first, I was like, that dude should stick to stand up, but now I watch his stuff.
I forgot the one with him and
he got
where
range.
the wife died and he was taking care of his daughter. I forgot the name of it, but it was actually a decent movie.
It's decent. It's good. So I'm like, to go for somebody in Kevin Hart's shoes to come from where he came from as a stand-up comedian that some people embraced him. Apparently, a lot of people embraced him, and then it's a lot of people who consider his comedic peers who didn't embrace him, but still, you gotta respect the hustle, you gotta respect the drive, and you gotta respect it, because it's people like him who open the avenues for other comedians. Now, like, if you take into account who came with Kevin Hart and who he put on, you gotta respect.
But
if you take Tyler Perry, same situation. It's a multitude of people who we wouldn't see on television right now if he ain't put them in the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Even though there's certain things you could pick apart with both of them, but it's still the fact of the matter, they didn't forget where they came from. They brought people with them and tried to help other people out. I commend them and respect them for
Harvey
that.
Too.
Who he really?
Steve, if you can ask multiple comedians, you can ask multiple comedians. Right now, if you go, it's written in what was it? Black Privilege, the Charlemagne book. Back, he got the title. Well, he got the title for the book from Steve Harvey. Like, people have conversations with Steve Harvey that propel them forward. Because the same way he was doing on stage with the jokes, he giving you game when you talk to him. From what they say. I never got the opportunity to talk to him. I would love to talk to him, though.
Yeah. Because apparently, and like I said, some things I don't like about Steve Harvey because I hate they panders. And what I mean by pandering, like
old school dudes did, though.
But what I mean by pandering is I know everybody panders a little to their audience. Yeah. But when you blatantly overlook all the other right parts and be like, nah, you know what, I ain't even going to say that. I'll just go over here. And then he'll change the whole subject if you wrong, I'm going to call you wrong. I don't care who you are.
Right.
But he don't even call him wrong. He'll just be like, he'll start trying to make a joke and everything and then switch it to another person and be like, oh, you didn't get it? Okay. And then go on to somebody else. Instead of being like, no, don't do that. I'm like, what was it? It was on one of his shows. He was talking about this Latino chick that always cuss her boyfriend out and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And be snapping off on him for no reason. And then the boyfriend's in the audience and was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, yeah, she crazy at times. And he was like, oh. And she was like, I don't understand why he won't marry me and all that kind of stuff. So then all of a sudden he started just talking randomly about stuff. And then he was like, oh, you didn't get that? And then he was like, yeah, next subject. And started talking to somebody else. I was like, so you should not even let her ask the question if you weren't going to answer the question.
And but look, in his defense,
but he does this a lot.
If she crazy, bro, and flying off the handle, then Steve Harvey already know she not gonna get what she want because she not gonna change who she
he
is.
Was like, even the boyfriend was like, she's hit me at times. He was like, oh, she hit you? Everybody laughing, the women in the audience laughing, everything. And I'm like,
that's not right.
No, everybody need to keep their hands to themselves.
Right.
And everybody just and he just, instead of actually making hey, truth be told, everybody need to keep their hands to themselves at that point. I ain't saying men should be hitting women or women should be hitting men. Hey, y'all should just keep y'all hands to yourself. He just, let me tell a joke real quick. On to the next person.
Because he like, at that point, he like, I can't save that relationship. In his mind, I'm not finna give him or her no advice to try to prolong or push this into the future. that relationship is a joke. I need to move on because I don't want to be an active participant in no foolishness. That's a smart move to me. I don't know. I'm just saying.
You say so.
But him leaving the stand up world, I just feel like it's a smart move. Reason being, he's jumping out of it.
But what was his last stand up though?
I'm not sure. I'm sure he was hitting clubs and doing all kinds of stuff, or maybe he wasn't. But I just feel like if it's gonna cost you a bag in the end, then you can move on.
So is it all about the money?
It has to be because he got a love for stand up, so he had to. It's like, in essence, he can still do stand up if he chose to.
So they were talking about Steve Harvey was had like $100 million.
Okay.
So you got $100 million, bro.
Yeah.
If you invest your money and all that kind of stuff, you could do stand up only for the rest of your life and be happy. And still have enough to take care of your family for generations.
You could do that, but also if you got a love for stand-up, but you also got a love for television, and television is opening way more doors for you right now than your stand-up.
So what are those doors opening for?
For him to do more money.
But my thing is, at some point in time, like I would understand if you're talking about, like. A man, like sometimes people compromise certain things to get where they need to be.
Right.
Bruh, where you need to be. What more you need to compromise?
Bruh,
that's like Dave Chappelle right now. From Netflix alone, he got $50 million.
I got more than $50 million.
He got way more than $50 million. But for that first set, it was like them the two first stand-ups, he got $50 million for them. And then he did like 4 more after that.
So he got more money.
So he got way more money. But he was like, bruh, I don't have to compromise nothing because, bruh, I walked away from $50 million, got $50 million back, plus millions more.
We talking about a dude who was on television with Chappelle show.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, for all intents and purposes, lost the rights to his name. He got princed, and then so he like, I don't really want to do that way no more because I lost all my creative edge and I lost all that for this. So you know what?
No, they said they were gonna pay him for a Chappelle show.
They did. I think he got they worked it out now because if you go and watch Chappelle shows on Netflix now. Yeah. And the whole thing about it was he called Netflix and said, I just don't feel right about it, and they took it down. Out of respect for the artist.
Yeah.
So, I'm just like, when you start putting things in perspective, bro. There was a bigger bag for stand up and Dave Chappelle, and also when it came to how he wanted to present himself and how, it was more beneficial for him to do stand up. Right now, it's far more beneficial for Steve Harvey to do.
Why is that?
Because
he wasn't as good as you would think he was.
No, he was good, bro. His stand-up is the reason he's at the place he is now. So I don't. How can you say he's not good?
No, I didn't say he wasn't good at all. But the thing that got me to where I am today, like if you saying like, okay, if we start naming people off, Eddie Griffin,
right,
still do stand up. He did movies and all that kind of stuff.
He did the Improv in Arlington. I don't know if it's this week or next week. He'll be here soon. I know that.
Yeah, like Eddie Griffin. Okay, Kevin Hart. Who else we got? Cedric the Entertainer.
What?
He still does stand up and everything, but then he still does TV shows and all that kind of stuff. He did Soul Man. He did movies, all those different things. So okay, take away them. Who else we got? It's a couple more people.
You got D-Ray.
Yeah, D-Ray does the same thing.
You got it's a lot of comedians out there who do.
How is it, Steve Harvey? He's like, man, I gotta get away from what got me where I am, because people always say, stay closer to your roots. What got you?
But his roots ain't in the stand up. His roots is in comedy. He's still giving you comedy. It's just now I got a whole bunch of cameras around me as opposed to You know,
I guess so.
I'm just saying.
Because my whole thing with
yeah, go ahead.
Nah, I was just saying my whole thing with Steve Harvey was because I really used to be a huge Steve Harvey fan.
Because he was funny.
Because certain things he did back in the day were funny.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Back in the day, like we talking about 2000s and stuff like that. Yeah. Back in my day, we ain't talking back in our parents' day, but because he didn't really get fame to what he said. He didn't get fame till he hit 49.
Hey, whatever.
And then I'm like, okay, cool. And he was making his money. And then he did the Steve Harvey show. I love the Steve Harvey show. And it sucked that it went off the air. But him and Cedric Entertainer, that were funny. They were still doing their craft. They were still in front of the camera too, doing things too. Even when he hopped on Family Feud, he was funny on a lot of different things. But then all of a sudden, it just seemed like he just got away from who he originally was. And I understand you trying to reach a certain stage.
You gotta reach everybody.
But when you try to please everybody, somebody's going to be unpleased.
Right.
And those people that were down for you from the get-go, that had been, like, there was a whole bunch of dudes that were mad at Steve Harvey because of this book. It's like, bro, what you make the book for? I'm like, oh, well, I just wanted to make some money. So you played on the idea of boosting these women up. You've been married 3-4 times.
Right.
Then on top of you being married 3-4 times, you basically talking about how, like, you talking from an old school mindset. And I'm like, yes, if men and women were still doing the same things that we did back in the day, your book would work. The crap that people do nowadays, your book won't work worth nothing.
Time, we all going to evolve. Change is constant. What I'm saying is, regardless if he want to be on the, because he could, like I said, he could still do stand up if he chose to. He still could.
But he already said.
But he's not going to do it because of the climate, and he has to maintain two personalities. There's a sponsor personality where I'm squeaky clean. I make this type of stuff.
So you're lying to yourself.
You're not lying to yourself. That's a facet of him. He's able to do that. And then he's also able to, hey, because the fact that y'all bringing your phones and all that into the club, or you got cancel culture where if I say anything got a line, y'all going to post me all over the website. I got too much to lose on this end. I'm going to get up out of there. I'm going to let y'all have it. It's a lot of up-and-coming comedians who going to fill that space anyway. I need to fill this space over here. I'm Judge Steve Harvey. That's who I am. I'm just saying. It makes sense to me.
I guess so. I
mean, you know,
you can have that. I mean,
having that
it just seems like I'm not talking about always keep it real on nothing. Like that was like the Chappelle show when keeping real goes wrong. Yeah. I ain't saying mess up your stuff for it, but the fact of the matter, you getting all the way completely and changing yourself from this is Steve Harvey to this is Steven kind of stuff. It's like, hold up,
Steven.
Bro. Nah, bruh.
I'm just saying a multifaceted individual can do these things. I'm not saying, because the way you making it seem, in my personal opinion, is like Steve Harvey's on some sellout stuff. And I'm like,
yeah,
it's not a sellout, bro. It's making a smarter move.
No.
It's making a smarter move.
Like, and that's what I'm saying is like you 100 million in. That's what it is. So that means even if you even if they cut off all your sponsorships and all that kind of stuff like that, you would have 100 million to work with. And you gonna sit here and tell me that even a tenth of that you couldn't work with that to build your empire?
I'm certain
but what you're saying,
stuff that he's making
exactly
residual income off
for
of
you
passive
to
income.
Be like, you know what? I don't even want to do my craft no more.
It's not that he's not doing his craft. He's not doing it in one facet. We beating a dead horse. Let's jump on to
Y'all tell us
Jim
what you
Jones,
think.
you can either you side with me. It's a smart move for a man to say, "Hey, I'm preserving the bank," or what you want, how you want to word it.
I would say being true to your craft, the thing that got you that 100 million, because without that, you wouldn't have been Steve Harvey, the talk show host, Steve Harvey, the judge, Steve Harvey, the music personality, Steve Harvey, the stand-up comedian, Steve Harvey, the kings of comedy, without your craft. You basically throwing away your craft to get some watered down version of it.
Okay, long wind.
Sorry, but
Okay,
yeah,
Twister.
the real Steve Harvey or the new version of Steve Harvey?
Which is still the real Steve Harvey. I'm
No,
not
the
undercutting
real
you.
Steve Harvey or the
So
new version
we
of Steve
got
Harvey.
Jim Jones' mom out here, and she's teaching her son, physically teaching Mr. Jim Jones in his youth how to make out with women. But on top of that, you also got Jada Pinkett, who enlightened us that her grandma taught her how to masturbate at 9, just so she can understand that that's a pleasure you give to yourself. No man gives you that. How do you feel about this? Do you like?
Tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel first.
Now with Jada Pinkett in the 9 situation, and it always seems like I'm harping on this woman, but I'm not. I feel like she's a victim, okay, of some weird parenting, okay. I'm not finna get out here and be like, this is how you do that, baby. No man, like, look. And in Jim Jones' way, I don't want to teach you how to do that neither, because in my mind, there's a standard where we all at. It's a point where you coming in here, you don't know much. I'm coming in here, I don't know much, and we gonna learn together. You know what I'm saying? Because how does it? My first kiss was with this girl. Or what Jim Jones was like, well, my mom kissed me first. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the whole, how you kiss a baby. I'm talking about like she's trying to teach you something. It just seemed a little weird to me. But at the same time, maybe I don't want to say I'm outdated because he older than me. So maybe that's how they rock back.
Both of them older than you.
Both of them older than me. And in Hustler's way, I'm like, I don't know. I just can't picture,
Right.
Queen or Miss Grandma Hunter out here like, this how you do it, baby. And then just try to teach me how to, get one off. I be like, Grandma, this ain't your space. It's not going to work for me. I can't. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to just say it like this. For me, somebody needs some help. Somebody really needs to go to therapy and be like, you know what? When I was 10, I was 9, my mama touched me inappropriate, or my grandma
had me
touch myself inappropriately. And
it, like, after hearing that, bro, it somewhat explained the trauma that she's putting Will through. Man, she suffered something, and her mind has morphed it in a way, in my humble opinion, I'm no doctor, but her mind has morphed it in a way to make her feel like it's right.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this: Jada Pinkett, if she was a man, she'd be in jail. If she was a man, she would be in jail. I'm just being honest. And she does. If a dude did Jada like she do Will, like, man, there would be so much, people would get so enraged and all that. And I'm like, I don't care what you say. Oh, well, Will, you just don't know what Will did. I don't want to know.
I'm not here to try to make two villains.
Like, here's the honest truth. Bruh, like, some people live certain lives in their relationship.
True.
Everybody is not monogamous. It doesn't matter if you are and your wife is. I respect you and your wife for what they do. If they're monogamous, cool. Let's just say the same with me and my wife. If me and my wife, we're not monogamous. What goes on between our sheets is between us and God. It ain't
Right.
got nothing to do with no one else. But
True.
when you start letting outside things dictate, and then you start running your mouth about what goes on. First, man, she cried like, okay, we'll go from the beginning with Jada. She cried 3 months. She even said, cried 3 months in the bed over Tupac. She married to Will and all that. She cried 3 months in the.
She lost a dear friend.
Bruh, 3 months over the dude. And I'm like, man, I'm sorry. I understand you lose a dear friend.
Right.
If you lose a dear friend, it hurts. I'm sad. But you can't get out of bed for 3 months. It was more than a dear friend. 3 months?
But you also got to take it to
3 months.
context. You got to take into context.
Okay.
who we
Okay.
talking
It's
about.
12 months
Jada
in a
Pinkett.
year.
Jada Pinkett.
So a quarter of the year, she in the bed crying.
Because she could take
Every single day.
She at that point, I'm certain she was financially capable
Every
of sitting off for 3
You
months.
have
and
a
grieving.
husband. Be real right now. If one of your ex-girlfriends passed away and you start crying over, yeah, you probably get a day. Oh, it hurts. I'm sad. It hurts.
I don't
You may
know.
get 2. Man, you cry in the bed for more than 3 days. She gonna be like, it's something you need to tell me. Yes.
3 days.
Yes.
But-
3.
But
Okay,
that's
I give you a
men-
week.
But that's men.
Now.
It's not like we could, because part of it, people tell us to get in touch with our emotions, but in reality, nobody cares about a man's emotion. Nobody's sitting up gonna trouble themselves if a man is sad, hurt, upset.
You know,
anything.
that
No
goes
one
off of
cares.
that TikTok thing is like, man, the real truth about men. Nobody gives a crap about men. Like, and
Nobody cares about men until they want something from a man.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you want
Right.
something from a man, then you care all about him. But the second you get what you want from him, it's just like your existence is that of a tool. I
Yeah.
pulled you out the toolbox to complete a task. But once task is complete, I don't leave you on the counter. I don't go and find additional things for you. I just take you and put you back in the toolbox. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're only good for what you're useful for. That's how men are. Women, on the other hand, I would be like it's an aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? It's like their life is more so like a priceless piece of art. Like even when it's always on the wall, it's always on display. And no matter, whenever you walk in, you gonna look at it and admire its beauty. Because you're gonna be like, oh. And if anybody asks, it never goes and hide, and it's always up front. Because the feminine energy is always there. So, no.
Man, I wish I could find
But
that
when
thing.
it comes to Jada Pinkett and Will Smith,
oh,
and her crying about
okay.
the Tupac, I'd be like,
So,
you can cry for a couple
Okay,
weeks.
like she cried for you said a couple of weeks.
Well, really,
this is months. This
If
is
she
months.
worked a regular
Now,
9 to
but
5,
that's not the only
she could
thing
cry
though.
for a couple
Hold up,
days.
that's not the only thing though. Now we go to her grooming her son's friend, and that is what she did. That because that was Jaden Smith's friend.
Right.
That was not her friend. She didn't know him or all that stuff. That was just her son's friend. They end up being cool. End up staying with him. He was underage at that point in time. Then all of a sudden, when he got of age, him and Jada started knocking boots. Him over here with some red hair looking like that. He looked like he emotionally traumatized right now.
He might be.
And talking about she was the real love of my life
He
and everything.
committed to that
Another
relationship.
man's woman was the love of your life. This man's
Bro, don't say that.
No,
like that ain't common.
no.
It's a
I'm
lot.
just-
It's a lot
no,
of
no,
men
no,
out
no.
here falling
Not
for other
before.
people with.
No, not I'm married to her, and then she's the love of your life. Oh, she was the love of my life before we got married, or something like
I'm
that.
certain it's some lame out there right now, like Brian with the love of my life. And I'm be like, buddy, I respected PGC, and you should respect PGC
But
too.
that's the thing is, y'all weren't married at that time. Like if you married to her, that's like right now. You and your wife are married.
Yes.
Y'all been married.
Yes.
Now a dude come in, and then all of a sudden he talking about, man, you gonna hit him? Like, bruh,
First of all,
bruh, you gonna hit
if
him?
I was in Jada, if I was in Will's situation, Look, I know that whole
It's the
bad
love of
marriage
my
for life
life.
thing is his mantra,
And that's
they
what I was
mantra,
saying. Like that whole bad marriage
Man.
for life. Now let's
You
keep
break
going. No,
soul.
we could keep going. No. Let's keep going. Not only did you groom this little boy, you didn't have enough decency to get NDA signed for this little boy not to run his mouth about what everything y'all go on in y'all relationship. Then after that, you get on Red Table Talk, and even your husband was offended because he even said it. If you go back and watch the clip, he over here like, that's what we're gonna call it, entanglement.
Like he basically said, don't act like I'm stupid. Don't act like that.
Yes,
We know
like,
what you did. Just say what you did.
Just say it. But instead of her saying, yes, I had an affair with August, no, it was entanglement. And then shut up.
But
You're trying to make up new stuff.
I don't know. At first, I was really upset with that entanglement statement. And I ain't going to say I was upset. I was really taken back by the entanglement statement. But that's only because she said that Will Smith didn't give me permission. But from August Alsina perspective,
Yeah.
Will Smith gave me permission. If you as a husband give your wife permission to mess with another man, then you was one string, she was one string, and he was another string, and this string agreed to let them two strings
But
cross.
you
and get
notice
knotted up.
Will hadn't said nothing about it.
Because what he supposed to say?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you don't know. He's just like, you know what? I'm going to shut up. Because he's not trying to, and me and Mike were talking about this. He just trying to mess up Will Smith as a brand. We were talking about it yesterday. Wild Wild West. Will Smith's one of his worst movies made more than all of Jada's movies combined.
Right.
So he's just like, man, I ain't trying to mess up the brand by charging this chick up. Because,
So what you telling me is Will Smith a sellout?
no, I'm saying Will is that's his family. You can't be a sellout for your wife. That's your wife. What you talking about?
I'm just saying.
You've been married 20
Look,
something.
all I'm telling you,
Bro, everything y'all do is y'all.
All I'm telling you is, it's
And
better for him to sit back and let Jada Pinkett do what she doing, as opposed to go left on her, because you said it's not about me being, a husband and trying to.
I don't even know if Will
partnership.
and Jada even have a prenup. You know how much money of his she will get?
It's Will Smith. I'm not like
Bro,
certain people. You
everybody
talk
be-
about money, let's not really converse about money and Will Smith, bro. It's not. I don't know how much he got. I don't know, but I don't think it would change much about his life if she got even half of what he got. He'd be like, okay, we still got kids together, so you gonna spend that money on them. When you die, it's gonna go to them. I don't.
Okay. Look
There's
at
no
it.
real-
Look at it like this. You got $100 on the table. That's your last $100 till you get paid next week.
Okay.
That's your last $100.
100.
And somebody come and be like,
I'm taking 50.
you taking 50. I'm taking 50 of that. You're gonna be like, wait. No. What you need that 50 for?
But this is what I'm also saying. You got to put all the pieces to that puzzle now. That's my last 100 now.
Yeah.
She finna take $50 from that last 100 right there.
But you still need gas in your car. On
No,
top
no,
of
no.
gas in your car, you still need food. You still need other things. So
And you said I'm at the beginning of the 2 weeks.
yeah,
Now,
you ain't
me
getting
being
paid
Will
for 2
Smith, me being Will Smith, I know my credit good. I can go get me a PPP loan. I can go get me a private, personal loan. Get me through this week. I can pay them back. And then $100, I'm gonna have $200, and she ain't gonna get the half of that. I'm just saying, from where he sits, money isn't the issue. The issue more so when it comes down to that situation is from where a lot of people sit. It's more so I'm trying to protect my image.
Yeah.
I got to do all this to preserve who they view me as opposed to what I really feel it is, hey, bruh.
Like,
I'm with her and I'm doing what I'm doing. She doing what she doing.
like, okay. Now, after that, after the bad marriage for life thing, now we're going to keep going on and everything. Like, what was she did one before the one talking about a sex game was he didn't satisfy
He
her.
didn't satisfy him back.
But there was another one before that one.
Well, that's like regardless of what came before that, her not satisfied. You gonna tell the world I don't satisfy you in bed? I would have been out. If
But
I can't satisfy you, I'm a. Your
That's
mama,
what I'm
I be
saying.
like, the reason I can't satisfy you is because your mama been teaching you to masturbate at 9 and stuff. How I'm supposed to be? You've been doing it since 9 years old.
But all with this whole thing, all I'm saying is like, Jada has done some real janky stuff. I used to really like Jada Smith. I mean, Jada Pinkett Smith. Yeah. But I used to like her. When she was on Woo, she was fine. When she was on Jason's Lyric,
when she was on
fine.
Inkwell.
Man, like, I'm just saying. But it's just like, and I wouldn't care if it's a man or a woman. When you do all that and it seems like she's deliberately doing it to either keep herself relevant or tear her spouse down. Pick one.
It's both.
And I'm like, okay. So now you tell me, oh, the next thing is, oh, well, my grandma taught me how to masturbate.
You know what? Jada Pinkett is the female Derek Jackson, bro. Like, she brought him on the Red Table Talk, and she basically had, we gonna make this right.
You know they have a picture of that too. Was Jada Pinkett over here looking like Derek Jackson and Will Smith looking like the wife holding tight.
And like, it's hard to talk about this because it's only way you can talk about this in its fullness is to throw shots at Will. I'm like, Will in my mind hasn't done anything wrong, so I'm like, every time this situation gets brought up, it's like he ain't do nothing to me. In my mind, he ain't done nothing. So it's like, I hate bringing it up because he's an innocent dude from my perspective. I don't know how she sees it or what she's been through in reality. But I can't go on what might have happened. I know what has happened, what I've seen.
I know from what she said happened.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
And
so these are her words.
It's her words. So I'm like, what she's doing to him ain't right from what I see her do. So until he do something, I don't know. But we talked a lot about Jada. What about Jim?
Okay, going to Jim Jones. Like, Jim Jones, he's never been one of my top artists. That was all he had was balling. Like, he had a couple things on Dipset and all that kind of stuff. He had a couple things with Dipset and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you cool and loving hip hop. Okay.
Yep.
But the whole thing, your mama teaching you how to kiss girls is like, wait. That, and like, I don't know if he have a big brother or a cousin or something, because usually what it was, like, I learned game from my big brother on a lot of things. He would teach me about how to talk to girls. He's like, oh, if you want to talk to girls, you gotta make sure you don't just give them everything. You give them a little bit, then you give you that subtle retreat, all that kind of stuff. Like, he giving me game about that. I'm like, okay, cool. He teaching me things about, oh yeah, hey, if you want a girl, if you trying to satisfy your girl, you gotta play to your strengths. You know what you can do. Every man is not built the same. Every man don't act the same. All that kind of stuff. You work with your strengths, and then you work better on your weaknesses. So if I'm great at whatever it is, I'm trying to be more conscious in 2022 of certain words that I say. So I'm like, you know what your strengths are.
You do.
And you could play to your strengths, but you work on your weaknesses to build those things up just as well as your strengths. But he ain't never told me, hey, bruh, I gotta give you a kiss to show you how to kiss this girl. Like, nah, bruh. Man, here's what you do. You don't shove your tongue in her mouth. Y'all supposed to caress each other's tongue and stuff like that. But he didn't have to be like, hey, I got to show you as an example.
Well, see,
now your mama.
My world is different, bro. Because my older brother and me are around the same. He's a year older. So it's like.
Well, I mean, y'all getting close to the same amount at the same time.
Yeah,
so
like, I feel like when I started talking to women, I was really just thrown in cold, like, hey, either sink or swim. It was really like learning to swim. Like, hey, you gonna throw you in the deep end. She gonna like what you do, or she don't like what you do.
Yeah.
And because I ain't had nobody like, oh, you do this, you do that, I was really like, I know what I'm good at. And I just doubled down on my actual talents.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I'll say it like this. Some people got thrown in the water without floaty. I at least had
You at
a
least had a
snorkel.
lifeguard on duty.
I had a snorkel where I was
Nah,
like,
you had a
man, if I go
lifeguard on duty.
underneath, boop, 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 boop,
Nah,
boop.
he was sitting up there watching like, yeah, dog, you gonna be straight. Doggy paddle. Me, it was like, nah, here go these concrete boots. Get out here. And I was like,
you gotta remember, my brother was locked up for like 19 years.
that's true too. That's true.
Like, it ain't gonna.
That's true too.
Bruh, I'm getting game from behind bars and stuff.
Hey, he still got the game. All I'm telling you is, when nobody wrote no books to it for me. Like, all the knowledge I have about attracting the opposite sex was really produced and honed in-house. Like, I did it. Like, I came up and was like, nah, I'll do this and I do that. This is what I do. And most of it was just, you, in order for me to pull you, I got a mouthpiece. I can say what I need to say to you, get you to look at me. But the act of actually intriguing the person was more so based on who I am and how I operate.
Yeah, but the whole thing was, my mama didn't teach me how to kiss nobody. Yeah. My granny ain't never taught me how to do it. My daddy ain't told me, hey, son, when you get that itch, like, no.
You just gotta.
No, bro, you figure certain things out on your own. It's like, nah, like, oh, you find your mama give you a kiss. Oh, baby, give me, like, hold up, mama. Like, no. My mama, I remember, I'm going to tell you this quick story. I remember back in the day, well, this wasn't even back in the day. It was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And my mama got pissed at me because we watching this movie, this dude trapped under a building and all that stuff. And then when he finally get out the building, his wife and his mom so happy to see him and all that stuff. And his mama give him a kiss, like, right on the lips. And I was like, oh, no, that's not what we do. And my mama was like, she kind of got upset because she was like, that's his mama. And I'm like, no, at a certain age, we don't do that. But he just got out from a building. They didn't know if he was going to live or die. Yeah, I know, but.
A deep embrace hug, that's where we at.
Like,
kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, cheek, the forehead, the nose. I'm like,
check, see if I'm okay. Like, is anything broken? Be my mama. But let my wife be my wife,
Yeah, it's like she get the lips.
She get the lips.
And I have to check my little daughter sometimes because she'll be like, oh, love you, Dad. Love you too, daughter. And it's like, not saying that it's anything inappropriate, but I'm like, I don't want, like, it's just, for me, it's uncomfortable for me for any woman that I'm not intimate with to hit me on the lips.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
this is weird.
No, because I don't even like kissing like that. I'm like, no.
I'm just not into it.
Like, and I know for some people they'll say it's weird, but kissing is more intimate to me than sex. Some people say, oh, sex is more intimate. No, kissing is more intimate to me than that. I don't kiss everybody. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I'm just not like a kissy person.
But my mama just open your mouth, baby. I'm like, because think about the first experience. When you first start learning how French kiss and stuff. Like, okay, well. Oh, she opened her mouth, you open your mouth, but now it's just that air right there. And then somebody decides, oh, well, maybe I'll try. But you got a grown woman, you a little kid. You got a grown woman saying, baby, open your mouth. Stick your tongue out. Oh, when I stick my tongue out, we're going to wrap our tongues around each other and stuff. It's like, just hearing is like.
I don't want that.
Nah, mama. I'm okay. I'm okay.
It's like,
like,
it's not my style.
It's just certain things I'm like, nah, we just can't do.
It's just not gonna work. Not for me. Well, that being said, my good sir, we reached that point.
I wish I could have found this thing because I'm gonna play at the beginning of the next episode
Yeah.
because it was real. It was talking about, you know, being a man in the world, and it was on TikTok. If you listen to TikTok a little bit, you probably came across it where the man was talking about he was in like suicide watch and everything. Then after that, they patched him up, sent him home, and all that kind of stuff. And then he was basically talking about being a man in this day. It sucks. It's like if your woman not happy, that's your fault.
Right.
If you're not happy, that's also your fault.
Right.
And then like basically talking about all the different things as a man. You got to worry about, oh, women thinking when they first meet you, are you going to harm them? Or are you going to do something to them just because of what you were born with? Not because of what you did, but because of what you were born with.
Yeah.
But like I said, next episode, I'm going to play at the beginning.
Okay, well, as long as you play it at the beginning, go ahead and do some shout outs.
Well, as always, love to shout out my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. Have a great Christmas, great New Year's, all that stuff with my family and everything. We live together, but I'm a sucker for those traditions and all that kind of stuff. Getting ready to move and everything. Still going just moving to another place, a better place. You know, trying to elevate our lives in 2022. And also her businesses, Traces Like Mine, Yanni Like Mine, Wasted Desires. You could check them out on Facebook, Instagram. They actually have their website up, wasteddesires.com. Go check it out and see the merchandise. If you have any questions, hit us up here. Also shout out Aretha. She's in Northwest Mall doing things. She's also in Arlington doing body sculpting, body contouring, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So check her out. She also does the ice. I forgot the ice thing, but yeah, ladies, you know what all that stuff is. Shout out to my family. Love y'all all. Gotta start doing more stuff as a whole family. And shout out to the podcast. You know, we trying to up our game in 2022.
Yeah.
So, like, subscribe. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on basically everything. We're on iHeartRadio. Check us out. Please, if you have a comment or you would like us to answer any questions, feel free. We can answer them anonymously. Say it.
Anonymously?
Yeah, because I'm going to butcher that. Or, you know, if you want us to shout out your name, we could do that too. So, yeah, that's it for me.
All right. I'm going to shout out Cousin Tyler Bailey, Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. Shout out D-Mac. He's a barber. He cuts hair. When it comes to, he got a space and he wants me to put some artwork on the wall. I just been busy. I haven't had the opportunity to actually dive into what would be put on said wall, but it's up there. I'm thinking about what I would put there. Outside of that, who else? Oh, shout out my cousin Mike. Got him his spot up. I'm sure he's working on getting his space built up to where he can get back to giving y'all people good content. So that being said, shout out to Daryl Harris. You know, he was down there for a little bit, but he's back on. With that being said, shout out my mom, shout out my pop, shout out. You know what? I want to shout out the people who've been rocking with us since we started this thing. It's done nothing but we got more people, and it's been growing. And I'm at a certain point, we're gonna hit that tipping point where it's more people watching than not watching, and we own that. We in that way. We going that way. So I just want to be. I'm happy that all y'all tuned in. I'm happy that all y'all actually watching and you know what I'm saying, seeing what we putting out. I do appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. So I found it. I'm going to play it for y'all real quick and then we're going to go and cut it off after that, you know. I mean,
play it, Jamie.
No, they're going.
What does it mean to be a man? It means that no matter what you do, it's never good enough. We're supposed to pay for dinner. We're supposed to open doors for them. We're supposed to help them carry heavy stuff. We're supposed to call them ma'am. And nowadays, that's insulting. It means your mental health does not fucking matter. Male suicides make up 3 times the amount of female suicides. I was in the hospital for 11 days on suicide watch. They put me in counseling for maybe 2 months, and then they just sent me on my way. And guys don't open up about their problems because nobody fucking cares. You're just told to get up and walk it off. So why even bother opening up about it, right? It means every time you meet a woman, she automatically thinks that you could possibly be a predator and they have to carry pepper spray and tasers to defend themselves against you. No matter how good we are, a woman could easily just divorce us, take half our money and our kids. If you're unhappy in a relationship, that's your own damn problem. But if a woman's unhappy in a relationship, that's also your fucking problem. Basically, you better be able to provide or you're a loser.
What does it mean to be a man?
It means that...
Stuff.
And
on that depressing note, this has been another episode of Something for the People.
yeah, I'll be easy.
Hold it down.